So key challenges will be decided by the area that they are working in. Some areas have specific issues, social issues. Some have general issues, and in fact, India, almost all states and all geographies have some issues. But for example, just to give an example, say sex selection is a serious issue in some areas, and in others it is not. So, firstly, the decision on what to work on and which challenge to work on will depend on the geography. Number two, the funding available for a particular kind of work. HIV used to be the flavor, and 20 years back or 15 years back, now there's not much funding available for HIV, for example. Education can be a major challenge in some areas, and in girls to school, for example, is still an issue in Haryana and in Delhi, and in these states that's not an issue. So second is geography and the specific issues of that area, and third is the internal capacity of dealing with that challenge. But I always go back to the fact that we have to be passionate about something, and that will take us far. If we just do it because funding is available, but our heart is not there in that issue and challenge, it won't take us far. So I have to be personally, the head of the organization has to be personally very passionate about the issue that is at hand, and also have some strategies to deal with that. So I think that will determine most of it. So Ganesh, because I have come from the development sector, UN is not where I started working in the beginning. I can say it safely and also without being or without sounding preachy about this, that we sometimes take too much on our plate without understanding the proper context. We also don't have internal democratic processes that we expect the world to follow. And thirdly, sometimes we overstretch ourselves in terms of our imagination that we can probably find solution to a social problem. So I think these are the three areas, and of course funding comes and goes. Today for 3 years we have funding for a particular cause, and then so we should avoid issue-based funding to begin with if we can avoid. But it's not always easy, because it's also a matter of survival. If I'm getting money for domestic violence now, let me start working even though I don't have capacity. And as a result, then we don't do very well. And then we don't get second round of funding, right? So if we are in a position to choose something that we have internal staff capacity for, documentation is always weak with us. Yeah. Some agencies you will find do very well in terms of implementation because they put their heart into it, but they don't have capacity to write it. Yeah. Some organizations don't have the capacity to write good proposals. So that also we need to develop. Thirdly, we have everything, but we don't have money to pay to the right people, the professionals. And it's a vicious cycle, I would say. So when we start working, either you have some people who are working out of passion, they don't care about money, and you do find those people, and then continue to develop internal capacity to not only write, but also implement, and then document that. The scale up comes through three factors. Scale up is that your work is known to people. Somebody is saying nobody works on manual scavenging better than Asif Bhai in Indore, Jan Sahas, right? Because that's how word of mouth takes you. Even though Asif Bhai doesn't speak much, right? But his name matters, that he does. He's totally committed to that cause. Either you are the only player or you are doing the best work in the town on a particular issue. So then more people will reach out to rather than you reaching out to people, right? So that is one. Second is you are a good marketing manager, right? You would see, Ganesh, that 60% of the money, development money, goes to 10% NGOs. What is the issue? Issue is that they write well, they go and present themselves, they speak, and there's a tendency also to use the senior people in the team to go for marketing, and then you'll not see them throughout. Then only when they have to get the next, a lot of money, that they will come and say, this is what we've been doing. So there are different ways, but because I have seen both sides of it, I would say that if you'll do good work, you'll be recognized, and then money will follow. And third, of course, is the geography. The scale up comes from geography, the numbers. Also, government, you have to align yourself with government priorities, because the numbers will come from there, right? Without which, where's the scale up? You keep working in the same geography. So these are my thoughts on that.